I'm Jeff Fritz with SoundStage.com, and I'm joined today by Jamie O'Callahan. He is the Global Sales and Marketing Director for the IAG Group. And for those of you that don't know, the IAG Group owns/represents Quad, Mission, Castle, Leak, and Audiolab, which is the subject of our SoundStage Talks episode today. Jamie, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you. I'm sitting in cold, dull England, but I'm all good, thank you. And yourself?
Well, it's pretty cold in North Carolina as well today,
Yeah.
but it's sunny. It's still a nice day out. So, well, listen, I appreciate you joining me. And with the IAG Group, there's lots of places we could go, of course, but I wanted to kind of focus in today on Audiolab. Audiolab is a brand that for a long time was not really seen in the pages of SoundStage. A couple of years ago, we really started covering the brand, and I'll tell you, our writers were just so impressed with the value for money in the Audiolab brand. And you guys had a launch, I believe, on Tuesday that we want to talk about, and it is the Omnia. And so can you tell us a little bit about the Audiolab Omnia?
Yeah, sure. Well, the Omnia is it's the latest product from Audiolab, and it encompasses a lot of where we've been taking the Audiolab brand over the past few years. So we're well known for the quality and affordability of our products. We do have some of the mid to high end products like the 8300 series, but the Audiolab 6000 series was revolutionary for our brand. It touched new price points, and it brought technology and performance to new customers and new market segments that we hadn't seen before. Now, off the back of that, the Audiolab 6000 series divides itself into different components that cater for different types of hi-fi enthusiasts in audio playback. So we want to be the all-encompassing solution. Now, that is really probably never going to exist because so many customers listen to so many different mediums in so many different ways. But the Audiolab Omnia is our answer to the market and the modern audio enthusiast, as we call it. So it's an all-in-one, all-encompassing audio solution that allows you to stream, play CDs, accept analog inputs, has a built-in integrated amplifier, has a DAC, has a headphone amplifier. So it's basically ready for anything. It's the all-in-one standalone solution from Audiolab that takes that evolution of 6000 series to an affordable price level, but gives the modern audio enthusiast an all-encompassing whole home audio solution, as we like to think of it.
Well, when I was reading the press release for the Omnia, of course, the first thing that I thought about, we have SoundStage Simplify, and our own Gordon Brockhouse covers these types of products for that website. And so, of course, I've read and edited tons of his reviews. And when I was reading the Omnia press release, I was thinking to myself, I don't know that I've ever seen one product that does as much, that covers as many sources. So can you just give us you touched on it briefly, but just give us a rundown of all the potential source components that could be connected to the Omnia, or all the different ways that you can use it. And plus, it has a built-in amplifier. So it really does do the whole shebang.
Yeah, it does. And it's basically an amalgamation of the 6000 series merged into one unit, but with a bit more of a lifestyle orientation. So it is an integrated amplifier, as you touched on. It's Class AB, so it is a thoroughbred hi-fi amplifier in the vein of the Audiolab 6000A. And it does have a CD player built in. So the 6000 series has a CD transport, for instance. This is a bona fide CD player built into the unit. So stick CDs in, connect your speakers, and you're good to go. It will play. But it also has a Bluetooth receiver, an aptX Bluetooth receiver. So you can play back from your tablet or your smart device, or even your computer, however you want to connect via Bluetooth. Beyond that, we also have a DAC built in. So Audiolab is famous for its DAC technology, and we've been DAC innovators for many years, going back to the Audiolab MDAC, MDAC Plus, and so on. So on Omnia, we've actually incorporated an MQA, a full MQA decoding DAC in the device itself, so you can play back music direct from your computer or PC via USB. With, like I said, full MQA decoding. On top of that, it has an Phono input. So very similar to the Audiolab 6000A, we've taken the Phono preamplifier, put it into the unit itself. So it'll accept a turntable directly. We have auxiliary inputs, we have optical inputs, we have coax inputs. So pretty much any hi-fi device can be connected to the Omnia, and it will operate as a preamp or an integrated amplifier with those devices too. And then beyond that, we also have streaming technology and network playback technology via the DTS Playfi platform. So, like I said, the aim was it to be all-encompassing, and it, depending on how you listen to your music, Omnia has got an argument for you to use that device.
Yeah, well, and I appreciate the description. I mean, it's just a dizzying array of features on that product. But let's step back and look at the Audiolab, just the overall product range for a second. The Omnia, I'm sure you guys don't want to stop manufacturing everything else and just sell Omnia. So there is, reason to go into some of the Audiolab separates. Give us just an overview of the Audiolab range and what it's all about and the different series.
Yeah, sure. Well, 6000 series is the entry level, as we like to call it. It's bona fide hi-fi. There's no argument with it. The way it's engineered, designed, developed, and presented, it is hi-fi product. And that comes in a form and range of separates that hit price points and performance specifications that you don't usually see at that price point. So the 6000A, 6000 CDT, and the 6000 N-Play are hi-fi separates, the integrated amplifier, CD transport, and wireless streaming player. We also have within that series the 6000 A-Play, which is the 6000 N-Play and 6000 A merged into one, takes the two award-winning products and creates a integrated amplifier with built-in streaming technology. And that is the entry-level offering from Audiolab. What we have beyond that is the 8300 series, which is a slightly higher end, approaching the $2,000 kind of price point, separates in the same vein. So we have the 8300A, which is a standalone integrated amplifier. We have the 8300 CD, which is CD player. We have the CDQ, which is a CD player, preamp, and full MQA decoder built into one. And that is differentiated by price point and power and a few other things. But the 8300 series now is getting on for a few years, so no secrets that will evolve in the near future. We have currently the MDAC, which is the MDAC Plus. That is our standalone desktop DAC system. And that has been part of what Audiolab became really famous for in the mid-2000s with the original MDAC. And, it's groundbreaking technology that presents DAC performance for the desktop music lover. And Audiolab, with those, reaches into specialized hi-fi areas, whereas Omnia takes that sort of purist approach and that connoisseur's approach and opens it up to a more general market. So moving away from just your hi-fi separates, we tick all the boxes on that level as we feel, and then we offer something a bit more simplified and all-encompassing.
Okay, well, it's a complete range of products. There's no question there. Well, Jamie, the last question that I have for you today, kind of take us into the future a little bit. And, I know you can't divulge, all the secrets coming out of the Audiolab R&D, but take us into the future. Tell us just kind of what's coming from Audiolab, or what can we expect? Are we going to be looking at new products over the next year, 18 months time period?
Yeah, we are. It's inevitable for us. I mean, Audiolab, as part of the IAG Group, owns all of its own manufacturing and all of its own R&D. So we are constantly innovating. We have teams of people constantly working on development of new products. With a brand like Audiolab, it is for the connoisseur, and it's got a strong brand identity. So we don't just throw out products haphazard, and we're not looking at divulging to portable music players or, turntables, because that isn't what Audiolab is about. But what Audiolab is about is basically facilitating the modern audio enthusiast with the digital music enthusiast as a primary concern, hence the use of our DACs and our MQA compatibility. So what we'll be looking to do with Audiolab is continue to innovate and develop that to bring groundbreaking price point-led products that offer all of the Audiolab pedigree, but always encompassing what the modern and even the future music enthusiast is looking for. So we're very aware of the way the market trends are going. We're very aware of how people like to listen to music, and we're very aware of their requirements. So what we are always doing, and Omnia, sorry to keep referring back to it, is a perfect example of that, is we're just trying to facilitate that within our brand philosophy and how our engineers would like to present that music to customers. So as the ranges and the brand develops, you will see plenty of that, but we'll never lose the Audiolab pedigree. It's this distinct industrial design, its purity of signal, and it's got that open, airy Audiolab sound. And the other wonderful thing is price points that we managed to achieve by virtue of owning our own R&D and owning our own manufacturing. What we design is what we go into the products, and what goes into the products is what we build. So, there aren't many out there who can actually offer that, especially at this price point.
Well, and one of the things that I appreciate, particularly about the IAG Group, is that you really do seem to be able to maintain each brand's separate identity. And let's face it, these brands, they're storied UK brands. They go back decades, and just the long history of products from these brands. And you guys are, you haven't homogenized that. You've really been able to maintain each brand's separate identity, and with a look back at the history of the brand, and you can see the evolution of products as you go through right on up to current day, and that's certainly true for Audiolab. So I think kudos to you guys for being able to do that.
It's kind of you to say, and that's what we aspire to do. So it's reassuring that the industry experts like yourself can actually comment on that. But there's a reason behind that. We're not a capital venturist backed company. We're a company founded upon people. And as the IAG Group acquired these brands, we didn't just acquire the trademarks, we acquired the people. So we have people working for Audiolab that have worked for Audiolab for 30 years. We have people within Audiolab who are the original Audiolab. So within the company, we have the original Mr. Audiolab. We have Mr. Mission. We have Mr. Quad. These people still exist within our company. And that keeps us firmly grounded. We can't stray too far away. I couldn't come into the company as some fresh young blood and say, hey, we're doing this, doing this, because they wouldn't allow it. We've got to stick to our pedigree. And as long as we understand that, and as much as we have our brand style guides for marketing and things like that, we also have a philosophy guide for the way the product is presented, and a brand book is in a brand audit that we conduct. So we know who we are and who we're trying to counter for, and what we expect, what our customers expect of us. So as long as we maintain that, we won't homogenize, we won't blend, we won't do collaborations from brand to brand. They are their own entities, and they deserve that kind of respect based on their pedigree and legacy.
Well, fantastic. Well, Jamie, thank you so much for joining me today and giving us this tour of the current Audiolab and the products. And I would recommend that everyone go check out the Audiolab range. Like I said, our writers have been super impressed. I'm hoping that we can get an Omnia in for review soon as well too. And that's really all I have for you for today, Jamie. Thank you so much again. Have a great afternoon.
You too. Thank you, Jeff. Really appreciate the time.